Right, it's a Mayo love-in, as always, here on OTB AM this morning. And tomorrow night, fighting for the WBC International Silver Super Lightweight title in Leeds will be Ray Moylette. And I'm delighted to say that just over 24 hours out from the fight, he joins us now live on the line. Ray, good morning to you.
Good morning, lads. How are you doing?
You are looking very relaxed for a man just over 24 hours out from his first fight in 3 years.
Not only is the fight is 100 miles away at this minute, but I've weighed in today at 1 o'clock, and usually my wife kicks me out of the house a week before the weigh-in because I'm hard to live with and hard to deal with. But I didn't think I'd ever be doing an interview the morning of a weigh-in, and fresh as a daisy, and in good form, and in the high spirits.
What happened? What's changed? Why is this one different?
This has changed. I have a new plan in place. I've been targeting this fight for a very long time, so I knew it was going to come at some stage rather than later, and I knew I had to be ready. I haven't been in Dublin the last 24 months as much as I would like to have been. So with me not being able to go up to Dublin and train with Packy Collins every time, I try to keep everything in my own control on point at home. So I looked after my body and I wasn't abusing myself. Whereas in the past, when I was training and going well, I could take the chances. I could eat the rubbish food. I could go out at the weekend, and I could, that's the reality of it. Yeah. Because I'm training hard all week. I deserve it, but that's not the case. I didn't deserve to do that to my body for the last 9 or 10 months, and I sort of had to make the call and just do it. So. I've new people in helping me now as well, and good friends, and the odds are against me here with this, so I have to give myself every advantage for this fight against Dalton Smith. He's the home fighter. It's on an Eddie Hearn show. Eddie Hearn is his man. I have to give myself every advantage. If I was over here struggling at weight and just about getting into the ring, it would look very bad for me, and it wouldn't be good for my performance. So thankfully, I am in a better position. Also, while I just continue on it, this fight is a weight above the fight I fought at in Castlebar. It's 5 pound heavier.
Okay.
Which is my natural weight. I know 5 pound mightn't sound an awful lot to your regular viewers, but in boxing terms, it's a lot. It's a weight above again. So, when you're down to your most minimum, 5 pound is a lot to get rid of again. So thankfully, I don't have to chase that this time, and I'm walking around on weight and comfortable.
Is it too much to say that it's been a bit of a come to Jesus moment for you, Ray, in the sense that you're in that company now, you've got that big press conference during the week, there's a lot of profile on it. Just listen to you explain how it's come about that you don't have the same weight challenges because you've been looking after yourself better. Is that like a realisation of maybe I wasn't doing it as well as I should have been up to this point, but from here on out, this is the approach?
Not really, because I was a young fella and I couldn't be told anything. If you told me how to do it, I was going to do it the other way, whether it was right or wrong. So I think that comes with experience and it comes with age. I'm 31 now. I have a lot of years, I have a lot of miles on the clock, and I know this is not going to last forever. So I want to make sure that when it does come to an end, that I've given it my absolute best and I've given it absolutely everything, and I have no regrets. Something I regret would sacrifice or would crucify me over the next few years to be thinking of it. I should have done this or I could have done that. Whereas I'm in a position now to do them things, and my body is allowing me to do it, thank God. And I know I've no stone unturned here, and I have no choice to do it, because win or lose, that's okay. But if I lose it on my own terms, that'll kill me down the line,
Yeah. The bad form stuff about the place, is that directly weight related as opposed to thinking about the fight?
Well, it's actually both. If I'm at a pause making the weight and I was struggling here today, that'd be my own fault. There's no one else to blame there. I'm the boxer. I see football teams blaming managers for performing bad and all that. That's not my style, and that's not the reality of it. At the end of the day, if I do well in the ring, everyone gets praised and all that. But if I do bad in the ring, it's on me, So I don't want that to be my legacy. My legacy is surely it's worth a lot more than that.
Yeah.
You say you haven't been in Dublin much over the last 24 months, Ray. I think it was actually probably 24 months ago around this time when you were doing the push-up challenge on this show that Friday morning. What has it like being back in Mayo predominantly, I guess, working away as well and trying to keep the fitness up, knowing that this moment was going to come?
A small fall from grace. I was a full-time professional athlete before COVID came. That obviously closed a lot of things. It closed the entertainment sector, which I'm in. So I had to come back home, regroup. In the middle of that, we had a child, a first baby, in the middle of the pandemic. So, priorities changed. I needed money in the house. I wasn't getting it from boxing. I couldn't be gone anymore. And, things changed. So I had no option. I couldn't go to Dublin on the hope I'd get a fight in a few weeks' time, be away from Kobe Ray, be away from Sharon, and not bringing any money into the house. That's not my style. I'm not going to be dragged up this way, or either is my family. So I had to make the decision to try and join the two of them together, try and work hard when I was at home. I literally have no outlet at home at all. People haven't really seen me, haven't been out and about, because I've been working or I've been training or I've been at home minding my kids. I haven't been doing anything else in the last 2 years. And if you know me, that's not my style at all. I'm stuck in everything, involved in everything. You couldn't miss me if you walked into Rocky's in Castlebar. But obviously them days are gone now too. But I've come to realisation that my boxing career isn't what it should be, and there's no one to blame, only myself. We've been here before. I've been fighting for titles before. I think it's off the ball. You've given me some serious coverage over the last couple of years. I was one shot away from Olympic qualifier in Rio. I missed the fight then, the big homecoming fight for the WBC belt in Castlebar. I missed that. The push-ups, I was 5 or 6 or 10 push-ups short on the night. I'm never afraid to put my neck out there and see what I have and see what I got. I'm not going to just sit on the couch and say, I could have bet them lads. Watching the TV on Saturday night, I'd say, I could have bet them if I got the chance. But no one ever gave me the chance. I'm playing the blame game. I'm not here to blame anyone. I'm fully responsible for this myself. And everyone that's helped me over the years as well, and they're still helping me. And they were helping me when there was nothing happening. I came up with the narrative that I was on the couch for the last 3 years. Obviously I wasn't, but on paper I was. And I had still people helping me in them times, believing in me that there was something going to come out of it. And thank God they stuck with me and they kept the dream alive,
And a win, obviously, tomorrow night now suddenly makes all of that right and makes the journey, it's a natural... end point is not the word. It's a natural next step on the path, as you see it, I presume.
Of course, and I was trying to weigh up this. How big is this fight? I was trying to weigh it up. Coming over on the plane, myself and Martin Brennan, and it's the biggest fight in my career up to this date. Was an Olympic qualifier in Venezuela, and there was 7 in the weight, I believe, and 3 qualified, and whoever I met in the first, if you lost the first fight, you didn't get to fight again. But if you won the first fight, you had 2 fights after that. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but long-winded story. There was an Armenian lad in the weight of the 7, and I met him in the first fight, and he bet me. So that ended the dream. And he went on to stop his next 2 opponents, and one of them qualified along with another guy. So it was actually harder for me not to qualify for the Olympics that time than it was to qualify, the way the draw worked. But I was trying to weigh it up. How big is this compared to that? And I'm going to put them on level par. The Olympics was always my dream as a child growing up, and it was the be-all and end-all of amateur boxing. But now, this is, I know it's only for WBC belt. It's not only for WBC belt. It's to get in a contract with Eddie Hearn and to get the platform to be able to fight on these shows at a regular basis and to ultimately make a few pounds at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Eddie Hearn is the man that has it, and he's given me a chance to get it off him, and I believe I took the chance in my best interest that I can do it and I can take it.
Ray, can I ask, when you said there a moment ago that you've had you never blame anybody else. You're always looking at yourself. Has that always been the way with you, or has something changed at some point in your career?
No, I'd say it's only in the last year or two, because we all want to blame someone else for things not going right for you. You blame the weather, you blame the referee in a football match, you blame the goalie, he didn't do something right, you blame the judges in a boxing fight. I've done it. I've not come to this realization overnight. But at the end of the day, it's me that has to throw the head on the pillow at night, and I have to stay with myself and sleep with myself, and I'm in my own head as well. So if I can throw my head at the pillow at night, knowing I've done all I can do, well, then I'm going to be happy, win or lose, and that's the reality of it.
And the thing is, you would have been forgiven for blaming an actual global pandemic for shutting down, as you say, the literal industry that would fund you as a boxer, but it's not something that you chose to do.
Well, I'm not, because how many boxers are going to choose that and blame that? And then I'm just a number. Whereas I put too much into this, put too many years into it, put too much sacrifice into it to just be a number at this stage. And I said it before, like I'm happy to go out on my shield. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go on a blaze of glory. I'm not just going to fade away into the darkness and say, whatever happened to that old boxer that was there? He was doing all right, wasn't he? Oh, pandemic came and that was in. That's not how my story goes.
This guy is technical, powerful, 7 KOs. He's stylish. He's a big prospect. What's the plan?
Stylish on paper, big hitter on paper. I won't know until I'm in the ring with him. I know a lot. Over the last 8 weeks, we've been working on plans and tactics and strategies with Packy Collins and the video footage, and I'll know more in the first minute of this fight than I would have picked up in them 8 weeks, because everything changes and reaction comes into place. You can go in, you can do all the jotting down you want and all the planning, but in reality, the fight takes its own course. We see it all the time, and I believe I am going to do something in this fight that I've never done before, which is box out of my skin in terms of skill. Maybe sometimes I was boxing for the crowd, or maybe sometimes I just wanted to fight. But this is going to be a skillful operation from me rather than playing for the crowd. I have a handful of people coming over, close family and close friends, and that's it. That's a big fall from grace from 2,000 people in the TF in Castlebar. So things change. I don't have anything to prove anymore to anyone else. I don't even have to prove it to myself, but I want to show myself that I'm capable and worthy to be on this stage, and I can only do that with skill and with heart.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're like in a great space. Are you almost interested to see how you yourself are going to go in the ring?
Yes, I am, because I've had over 300 amateur fights. This is my 13th fight as a professional, and for all them fights and all them years, I'm over 20 years at this level now. Well, not this obviously level, but in competitive level. There has been 5 times the amount of that of sparring. So I've been in the ring my whole life, whether it's fighting or sparring, and I've been with top operators, and I've been with good lads and bad lads. But I've never been outmatched. I've never been uncomfortable in the ring. I've often been bent in the ring. I was knocked down in the ring. I've always got up. But I've never been uncomfortable in the ring. And I'm not going to be uncomfortable in the ring on Saturday night. There's nothing that he can do to me that hasn't been done to me already. I have I've lost. My undisputed record is gone. I've no weight to carry. He's the prospect. He's the one that has to show that he's the next big thing. I'm taking a chance that was handed to me. I was contemplating retirement for the last 3 years with no fight, but I obviously would never have done it. But it came into my head more often than it didn't.
Yeah.
So he has a big mission on his hands, because if he beats me, who did he beat? He beat a Paddy that came over on the boat that was on the coast for the last 3 years. He doesn't. He won't even get the recognition. But that's not going. It's not even going to come to that. But he has a lot more to lose than I have. I can only gain. I had nothing up to this, and I'm here now ready to take the shot.
Well, as we were a couple of years ago on the show, we'll be cheering you on, Ray, over the weekend. Fair play to you for taking the call this morning. If you were any more relaxed there, you'd be lying on the bed. So, good man. Keep that up. Good luck with the weigh-in, and more importantly, best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you very much, lads. After the ball, you've been very good to me over the years, and even through the pandemic, as you mentioned, with the push-ups as well. So delighted to be on, and thank you very much for all the coverage, and best of luck to you all.
We'll talk to you when you have the W in the bank next week. Good man.
Please God, see you soon, lads. Thanks
a lot. Ray Moylette in action this weekend. Dalton Smith. It's in Leeds and it's on DAZN, and you got to be cheering that guy on.